Greetings. I have no idea how to start this. It's one of the few moments in my life when I actually stand in front of a camera and use the English language. As you can hear, I'm not a native speaker of this tongue. It's basically, I'm an Austrian, fat, hairy guy. Was planning on making some whip joke about, whoa, look at all this junk around here, what are we going to do? Well, basically, introductory wise, cheap as possible cosplay stuff. And I mean cheap, not those, oh, inexpensive ones that then later appear to be, oh yes, you have to buy an Arduino Uno and, oh my goodness, $100 worth of wobbler. No. Okay? The most expensive stuff, I think, is that stuff here, which is an isolation foam for floors, which you probably can get somewhere in any store that holds household supplies as soon as you have a Home Depot or stuff. Since I don't know where you're living all, and I don't know what kind of material you are able to get, and just try to be as vague as possible. There are foams in every size, from very thin to, where is that the rest? Little thicker. That's my material that I always use for all kinds of projects, you might say. It's basically also isolation that you basically put on your house, on the outside or inside. I think this one is meant for the inside. But it's cheap as fuck. Some go for these weird techniques of this spraying foam that you have to seal up cracks and stuff. And I just don't go for that. It's an interesting way for making organic stuff. No doubt about that, but it's never very stable. Also not very cost efficient, okay? And it has a lot of big holes inside of it every time, so you have no control over that. This stuff is basically plastic wood, which you can cut any way you want, as soon as you have... I don't have a knife around here, why don't I? Okay. Wait a minute. This is unedited, by the way. I just got here and thought, hey, why don't put a camera here and talk about shit? Hey. Okay. For certain, I was sure I had at least some kind of knife. I have this red knife, so you basically can cut it with almost everything. Okay. It's also Home Depot, any store or outlet that carries home improvement. Okay, make out of that what you will. This stuff is easy to use, light, and when you take from how big these pieces you can get, I don't know how big they are get in your place, but in terms of what you get material-wise, in terms of this stuff to the sprayable PVC foam, this is definitely cheaper. By a long run. Of course, around here in Austria, about what? $3 a panel of my body size, about here to this wide. I don't have a complete... This is one panel, okay? Half of it. A little bit longer maybe, okay? $3, maybe 4 now. Easy to use. You can grind it with sandpaper, use knives of every... Make sure it's sharp and don't cut yourself. Anything goes. And I don't understand why people are so afraid of paper mache, okay? Paper mache is not something you really toss aside. I use it all the time for groundwork, okay? To get stuff in the right shape. It's easily to obtain. Hey, you have newspaper, you have water, you have paper mache. Okay, you can't get much cheaper. Yes, okay, you can buy glue. Do you know that you can also make the same glue even if you don't have the glue? By using flour. Actually, yeah, you mix it up. So it's basically just that when you notice that, okay, water, flour, you mix it up. And as soon as you notice, oh, the water gets a little bit denser than it normally would be, you have basically glue. And of that you can make it to paper mache. Really. I mean, you have all kinds of glues available also in marketplaces of your choice. So, it's okay. You can make home. This is a mannequin, okay? I made a casting out of one for a project that never happened for some reason. And this is all paper mache. 3 layers, paper mache, okay? Sturdy as fuck. Didn't do anything else but paper mache on a mannequin, cut it open, ripped it off, put it together. Yay. Hey. And it's light. It works. Don't be afraid of it. Every time I hear others go, oh, you have to use wobbler. It's like, wobbler is great if you have to do something reasonable quick. But the projects that you're making, okay, even if you, especially if you start up, okay, if you're a new beginner, or if you are already a professional, there's no, okay, shame in going cheap. Because once you fail or have a problem with a project, you don't have spent a lot of money and you can do another project with what you have spent and have a little bit of saving. I don't get why people so afraid of using the old methods. One other thing is, see that? This was a strap of, I think, a bed sheet. Okay? It's basically cotton. Okay? Fabric. Combine this with normal glue. I mean glue like I said, I don't know what kind of glue you use. I use the cheapest stuff I can get. 30 bucks for, I don't know, 5 kilos. I don't know how much this is in other measurements. Google it if you want. Okay, it's the typical white stuff you can get. Basically wood glue, okay? The stuff you get in school project in the lowest grades you can imagine. Okay? The basic white stuff. If it says glue and it is water based, you can use it. Why? Because if you drench this in glue without anything else, drench it, bring it out and apply it wherever you want, you get basic fiberglass. At least theoretically the same thing. Okay? The thing you can make horns with. This is this material. Okay? I had some of those foam stuffs that I used here. Made basic. I will probably make videos where I show a little bit more detail with it. And then just maybe you can say band-aid it. It's almost like those casting band-aids you have when you get a broken hand or stuff, okay? And it's really, it's, the concept is the same as fiberglass, like I said. It works. It works very, very well, okay? You can almost not fail with this stuff. It's cheap. You have clothing. I wouldn't say use stuff like stretchable stuff like from a t-shirt, but jeans, rods. Oh, what was that word? I don't know. The stuff to hang in front of your window. Okay, I think it was rugs. Yes, I always fail at some words. Blame me as much as you want. But yeah, as soon as it can absorb liquids, okay, the same as paper or any other material, and you drench it in glue that's hardened up and it's water-based, to get as easy and as cheap as possible. You can have basically the power, sorry, spitting, the power of the fiberglass, okay? Because the fiberglass idea is just resin, which basically holds everything together but isn't as sturdy, and the material, there where the glass fiber came in play, that holds everything stable, upright. That's the basic idea. Simple as that. You can make horns, weapons. What do I have here? Oh, come on. Yes, this place is a mess, I know. Big cubes. Yes, that was supposed to be a hammer, and I, for some reason, stopped because the one person I made it for didn't want it anymore because it's too hard to make a costume. Like I said, I'm sorry, I'm not the guy for the easiest conversation at first and last. And yeah, no sewing tips for me. I was planning on, but there are way more knowledgeable people on that base. I'm just making props, okay? This is just, once again, this material made into a tube. Yay. Some more details added later. And basically this is paper mache, actually. Yep. It was made to house some materials. It was basically made so I can apply this with a magnet and put the handle later. Yes, it's supposed to be a hammer. For transport. I always concept my things to be as easily transported as possible. It's also a very interesting thing. If you scratch those foam panels, okay, it's basically a PVC foam, not those white bubbly things and styrofoam. It's way denser than that. Like I said, it's basically wood, but you can scratch it almost with your fingernails. You not even need tools, but it's sturdier than that, okay? If you scratch the surface, apply, once again, glue. It's a thing that I will probably bring up so many times. And then use a blow dryer or a heat pistol. Hey. Something like that. Okay, if you don't have a normal blow dryer, a very, very strong one works just as well. You can basically improvise those wooden carvings like normal wood rings. It looks actually, alright, I see it again after a while, yeah, with a little bit more coloring, like everybody says in every video. Even if you have not very complex forms, painting can do so much. Okay, I hope I will cover it in some way or form later. Okay, do we have something more to show? Yes. Oh, this one. Oh, I was asked many times for wings. Also, just like I said, making basic forms is not very... Those are straws, okay? Simple drinking straws. And some parts I had left over from different foam parts. I had leftovers, okay? Leftovers, and this here was a shower curtain. No, actually, this was a shower curtain, and very fabricy, kind of acrylic, I guess, shower curtain. I also drenched in glue, put it on, when it dried, cut the basic shapes out, painted it, wings. Yay. It works. Very easily, very simple. It doesn't really require a lot of talent, or as if I had one. It doesn't really take much, really. It's not the most flashy kind of thing. That's one of those. And yes, I know this place looks like shit, but hey, it's my shit. Oh, one even better. Oh, I totally forgot about this one. It's basically a, I think this was one of those projects I had for an exhibition at one point, but that was also cancelled because I live in a shitty area where everybody basically lets you stand in the rain when you're not fast enough. And I mean fast enough in the next 5 seconds. Because they cancelled projects as fast as they announced it, okay? This was basically meant to be an exhibit for an how to do like I do it right now. Which basically makes sense now. This also made out of just simply, I think this was the same material, yes. Glue and fabric. I think this one was a bad sheet as well. I had a lot of those for some reason. I get burned through a lot of bad sheets, I guess. You can make of that what you want. It sounded better in my head, okay? A lot of things sound better in my head. But really, this is all it is. All those little scales here are just folded squares of fabric to a triangle. You just drench stuff like this, fold it over in a triangle on one side, and you have scales. You can make of this as much as you want. And this maybe are 2 layers, and the rest is just added for convenience, and then basically just painting exercises. This is all acrylic material. I only buy the cheapest acrylic stuff and then basically brush it up, because acrylic is easier to obtain in oil and it doesn't take as long to dry. Like I said, I don't really get sometimes the time to do stuff. And also very funny is, why do always everybody says, oh, you have to do the whole high-tech electronic stuff? You can get basic lighting equipment with batteries and LEDs for what, $2 or $3 out of those outlet stores that basically threw old material out. We have at least 6 or 7 of those in my distance work, and I live on the ass end of nowhere. Okay, like those very stupid ones. Where is it? Does it still work? Yeah, those battery-powered LEDs for the Christmas tree and stuff. You get those things for what? I think this was about 150 euros. I don't know how much it is in other countries, okay? How much time do I have? Oh man, I don't know how much this camera will take. It's an old camera. But this is light. And then you go, oh, you want to be flashing light or pulsating light. There are so many of those shits out there, okay? So many of this stuff out there. Where you have already a battery pack that you can apply in your cosplay with lighting. Sometimes there are such weird decorating. Those decorative walls you also get in this. Look at this. Even color changing. All kinds of those things. And those really cost 50 cents. Okay? You get glowing blue balls. Now green. Okay? You don't have to, even if an Arduino Uno costs only $2, you still have to buy a battery, the utilities, because an Arduino Uno alone, because everyone just talks about this one piece. Yes, it costs only $2 on eBay. Where's the battery? The battery for things like that isn't expensive, but also costs something. The LED straps, the parts you need to power up and control the Arduino Uno, because there is an adapter for that. It's not always a thing you just have to plug it in. You have to program it. And why do all this stuff, plus the whole expense, plus the maybe failure, because if you break it, you can't give it back. But buying things like that, figure out a way to use them which is way easier than programming a microcontroller. They already have this, the whole thing with a switch, battery and an LED. Like color changing. I have put so many things like this in cosplays already. It's easy when you think about it, but everybody goes for the extremes. The most expensive shit. And I don't know why. Just slow down and make it simple. Paper mache is not a shame. Okay? And what I explained about those basically misuse of clothing with glue can bring you way much positive, because the only thing then holding you back is basically your own fantasy. Because as soon as you have foam to make the base to hold it in, you can make everything out of this shit, okay? If you don't get this one I know is available in every country, okay? Even in Kathmandu, okay? I don't know. Ask someone. But it's available. I don't know how all those things are called in your country or where you live. But it's probably not as expensive as a piece of rubber. Those are at least this roll was 10 square meters, okay, and cost maybe $10. That's not even the cheapest one. There are different kinds, but there are rolls and there are those. Maybe you have seen something like this one. And no, this isn't EVA panels for ground play work and stuff. Nope. This is also isolation for floors when you put new floors up. Pretty simple. And this is even straight, a little bit thicker. But also, you can make almost everything out of it. From armor to weapons to shoulder pads. And it's easily cuttable. You just tape it along with some tape. Put one layer of fabric and glue over it. Let it dry for a few hours. Then details with paper mache and paint it. Yes, it won't be as fast as Wobbler. But this stuff doesn't break, okay? Especially if you use at least 1 or 2 layers of fabric and glue, because I had this stuff so many times, and people are always like, why doesn't your stuff break when I let it fall? Oh, because it's not Wobbler, because Wobbler breaks. It's still a very useful material. It's interesting to work with. It has also very, very problematic states. It melts in the sun. I have seen so many great body armor pieces and other stuff. Just, oh, I let it stand there in the baking sun in the summer on the convention. Oh, now there is a puddle. Or if you arrive in a car. Woo! Yes, you can make it a little bit more stable, okay, also with glue and other materials, yes. And I know it's easy to make details with it. You also can cut it, details with that and glue them on. A little bit long for an introduction video, I guess. But there are so many things you can do. And I hope I can maybe show some of them off. Or maybe or not, I don't know, but it's easy. If you think about it. And it's not like you need a master's degree of engineering for it. You don't need the most expensive material. You don't need, I don't know what. Just take it easy. Okay? Just like me, the old caveman out of Austria. Oh, yeah. Maybe I can use this one. This was basically, I don't even know what this was. It was basic. What was this? I think. Oh! oh. This shape will probably not be recognized by many. I was trying to make one of those old Star Trek things, this Planet Eater from the old Star Trek series from the 60s. If you remember this one. I don't know why. I just had spare parts and didn't want to throw them away, and this is a little bit thicker paper mache stuff. Like I said, it's almost made out of spare and basically garbage. You can make it a club. Why not? Caveman Cosplay. Let's get primitive. Yeah. This maybe has something. Yay. Hey, and if it's not cheap, it ain't worth your time. I should start writing down those things. Yay. Oh, hey. There's an old one. Oh man, I didn't even think this was here. Hi. Yes, I made sometimes in the past. Wait. It's dusty. Also, made it, and in the middle of making it, no, I don't need it anymore. So yeah, I still have. I didn't think I had so much stuff laying around that it's actually usable. Yay! Mango meat. Yay! Now we're getting really serious here. When I have meat, I have a club, and I have something to drink in the market. Yay! Like I said, I should really start writing down stuff and making plans, but this was more or less unscripted. And uncut. I'm not those jump cutting types, okay? Hey, okay. You stay there, you can live with the rest. Okay, anyway. Is this thing still running? Oh, whoa. Oh man, we're almost coming up to half an hour. That's long. Anyway. Is this thing? Yeah, it's running. As soon as it breaks up, I will apologize. But, I hope you see you around. Bye. Nope, this isn't working.